Let us go ahead into diving into making our presentation. So I have this presentation that I've created, and Google Presentation has a variety of features for collaboratively presenting your document online. And what we're going to do right now is run through a couple of those features. So the first thing that I need to do if I want anybody else to be a part of my collaborative online presentation is to share this document. So what I'm going to do is head over to sharing settings. I was just looking at the publish embed dialog box, which is about blasting this out over the internet rather than sharing it with specific individuals. Right now, by default, I have only me as the person who can access the presentation. And what I want to do is add people to the presentation. Now, I could put in an email list. I could manually choose people from contacts. We kind of touched on this a little bit last section, but right here I have a list of all of the email addresses of people who are inside of the Coffee Kooks Google Apps installation. And so what I'm going to do is paste that list of people into this box right here. And I'm going to give basically everybody who is a part of this, who is a part of our Google Apps installation, access to this. So I'm going to go ahead and click Share. And right now I have everybody listed as having edit capability on this particular file. So before I go ahead, firstly I would say I am going to ask all of you to edit this file in a couple minutes, but if you could hold off on that, I want to walk through a couple of other things first. But can you tell me, Brian, can you see the file inside of Google Docs now? Did you get the email?
Yep, I'm in.
Everybody's looking at it? Or
I'm looking at it.
where you're looking at it? Okay. So if it works for you, then it's going to work for everybody else. So what I'm going to do right now... Okay. Okay. So I will switch to View, Start Presentation. And this is what the presentation mode looks like for Google Presentation. And again, I'll do Command Shift F to take it up to full screen mode. And I would like to draw your attention to this little button over here in the bottom right that says View Together. And it says joining this presentation online. Please go ahead. Oh, there's Brian. Brian says howdy. Please, everyone, go ahead. If you have access, open up the document, go into presentation mode, and then click on View Together. Great. So there is, and please say hi on the chat. I mean, basically, we're all looking at this simultaneously. I'll just type in some words down at the bottom in the chat. Oh, Ken is in Colorado. Matt's joined the chat. Okay. So this basically is sort of a platform that we would use to, if this were my presentation and I wanted to share it with everyone, I could invite everyone to my presentation, and we could all sort of chat about it as we're looking through it. You don't have audio capabilities, and if we wanted to, we could get on the phone together or set up an iChat or some other type of voice chat that would allow us to talk as we're moving through this presentation. But just out of the box, the capability that you get is for chat. So what I'm going to do right now is click on Take Control of Presentation. So everyone right now can see the slide that I'm on. And so if I am entering chat text, I can talk to people, and then I can switch from slide to slide. So Now, this is sort of how I see the world as the presenter and owner of this document. Brian Sawyer, why don't you take control of the presentation so that we can see what it looks like when somebody else is presenting?
Now I'm presenting.
Great. So now Brian is presenting, and I actually am looking at this. When Brian started presenting, I pressed the right arrow, and now I'm actually looking at two different presentation views. Up in this top right box, Brian is. I see Brian's window. Like, this is the presenter's view. Brian is looking at slide number 3, but I on my own can continue to look at whatever slide I'm interested in looking at. So if Brian wants to be talking about one thing and I want to take a look at something else, it's very easy for me to do that. So this is just kind of a neat way of collaborating online with a presentation. And again, you would need to create a sort of a parallel audio setup if you wanted to actually talk to people. So it's not completely a WebEx killer, but it's certainly very neat. And you can have up to 50 people who are simultaneously looking at the document and talking about it and going through it at the same time.
So we do have a couple questions regarding this.
Yeah, please. Now's a good time for questions.
Taylor in the chat room says for some reason they're not seeing themselves in the chat box, but that they're part of the 50.
Is Taylor seeing? Is Taylor?
They say they're not seeing the chat box.
Well, did she click on the View Together button in the bottom right?
Yeah, Elizabeth just asked, so we'll find out what. And we have another question from Sachin in the chat room. Can we not plug in Google Chat to View Together feature in real time?
Yeah, I mean, you could basically, and I actually did this when I was playing around with this. You absolutely can. You would just need to have a different browser window, and you can have a voice chat being piped through a different browser window. All I mean to say is that there's no like microphone button inside of the presentation view mode that would allow me to like press the button and suddenly everybody can hear what I'm saying. But I mean, you can use Skype, you can use one of the Google Voice chat functions, whatever you would like to do in order to pipe voice around the internet.
And would you mind showing the View Together option again?
Yeah, it's down here in the bottom right. I mean, when I click on View Together, the chat goes away, and so that was my thought when Taylor mentioned she didn't see the chat, that she just if I click on View Together, I get this chat box. So I don't know. Some of the people seem to have made it work, but I don't see Taylor coming in yet.
It's also possible that it may be way down on your screen, so you may not actually be seeing it when you're online. It's very small.
Yeah, okay.
And Diana says, click Start Presentation.
Oh yes. Well, let me just back up a little bit. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm gonna switch windows here. I'm gonna get out of my full screen mode, and I think I probably blew through this a little bit quickly. I'm actually gonna leave the presentation. So when you I can see right now. Okay, I can see right now that there's a whole bunch of people, including Taylor Willingham, who is looking at this document but isn't seeing what the window that I was just showing. What you should do is go to View and then Start Presentation, and now you'll see the presentation in a viewing mode, and then click on the View Together button. And what will happen at that point is there's Taylor. Thank you, Taylor. Sorry about that. I think I just went too quickly over that one step. So in order to get to this particular screen where you can chat together and look at it without the editing tabs and so forth, make sure that you go to View and then Start Presentation. So yeah, my apologies.
Do you have to be in Chrome or can you be in Firefox?
Any modern browser ought to be able to handle this. I mean, it's I'm sure Firefox can do it. I mean, I would fall over dead if Firefox couldn't do this. That shouldn't be a problem.
I'm in Firefox now.
Okay, good. Well, there you go. Are there more questions, or shall I continue on to the next? Let's see what. Let's see. We've created like yet another forum for discussion. So we have all these different chats. It's kind of crazy.
I do actually have one more question from someone in chat.
Yeah, please go ahead.
They say, I always get an error message saying, sorry, an item cannot be shared outside of my site, so I can't email it to someone at an outside address even if they have their own login, and they'd like to know what they're doing wrong.
Without seeing necessarily what specific application this individual is using, all I can really say is basically you just need to head over to your sharing settings and then click on this change button and make sure that your visibility option is set correctly for somebody who needs to view the document either public out on the web or inside of your domain or whatever. I mean, without more information, it's difficult for me to diagnose it specifically because these are the options that you would use to control that access, and it shouldn't be that difficult.
Well, they just kind of answered their own question. They said, oh, I don't have a public option. How do I enable that?
Is it within the is it within Google Presentations?
Yes.
Well, it may be that your Google Apps administrator, if you aren't the administrator yourself, has set up your installation to prohibit sharing of documents out on the web. I know that that's an option, but this is sort of a tech support question that I would just need a lot more information in order to get a good answer to.